on the air. Everyone will have a seat. Thank you for being here tonight. One here. My name is Donald Marsh. I'm the Hopkinsville City Council member from Ward 3. I'm also the co-chair for the Council of the Whole, and I'll be filling in tonight for Travis Martin, who is the City Council member from Ward 6 and the chairman of this committee, and also enjoying what is, I'm sure, some well-deserved rest right now. So I'll fill in for him. But I just want to thank everyone for being here, and I want to call to order the March 20 Committee of the Whole meeting. I ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Smith.
Present.
Councilmember Stallings. Councilmember Marsh.
Here.
Councilmember Crabtree.
Here.
Councilmember Craig.
Here.
Councilmember Martin. Councilmember Sumner.
Here.
Councilmember Meek.
Here.
Councilmember Bogard.
Present.
Councilmember Velez.
Here.
Councilmember Bell.
Here.
Councilmember Dowd.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, good. Thank you. Would you stand with me for the pledge to the flag? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That takes us through the first three items on our list. Item number 4 is approval of minutes. You received minutes in your packet.
So moved. I'll make a motion.
Take a motion to accept. A motion by
Second.
Ms. Craig and
Second.
Mr. Crabtree. Motion is second. Any discussion, corrections, revisions? Seeing none, if you want to accept the minutes as submitted, indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign. Move on to item number 5. We have some administrative matters. We have the incomparable Toby Hudson to come and represent Public Works and Parks. No, we don't.
Yeah,
We have
Toby's
Mike.
gonna-
Okay,
Toby's gonna
good.
present.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you for being here. God bless you. Thank you.
First off, I want to ask you if you have any questions about anything in the quarterly report for Public Works in your packet. I'll be more than happy to answer that at this time. And if you don't have any questions, I'm going to turn it over to Toby, but I asked him to kind of give you a brief update of what's going on with Parks and Rec this year and events and programs and so forth.
I don't think so. I think, what we can say is we've been through a pretty rough winter season. We really appreciate everything that Public Works has done. So,
Okay, I'll turn it over to Toby.
thank you.
Thank you, Council, Mayor, Troy. Just a little bit of an update on what we've done, where we're at for 2025, and what we see coming. We have done, as you see there, we have done 93 events scheduled for 2025. That does include the Sportsplex, the events that go on out there. So that's everything that we do. Movies in the Park is one of those. Soccer, you've got your Hoptown Hose Down is going to come back for a couple of times. And you got Summer Salute Festival, which will be there. But on our website, hoptownrec.com, you can find all of those links and comprehensive stuff to the event. Just a brief overview of a few things. Like I said, a whopper of an egg hunt. That'll be at Tiebreaker Athletic Complex, and it's nighttime. It's a nighttime egg hunt, which has always been a great thing since we turned it at night. All the kids with their flashlights and necklaces that shine and all that. Then Summer Salute Festival. Everyone's aware of that event. We'll have Friday night entertainment, and we'll have a double headliner, 2 headliners on Saturday evening. More information on that to come. Food and beverage vendors, they are sold out. They are completely sold out. Since I did this PowerPoint, we've completely sold those out. There are a limited number of merchandise vendors, and I say that, I would say less than 10 to 15 of those remaining for the September event. Then we have the Sportsplex. The 2024 attendance was roughly between 140 and 150,000 participants or patrons. And then another highlight there is a pickleball tournament. We had 100 participants using 9 courts. That pretty much filled the complex up. Now, just a little bit more detail on a few of those things. Whopper of an Egg Hunt is Friday the 18th at 7:30 at Tiebreaker Park. It's age divisions, walking to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, and then a special needs field, which is field 5. So hunting licenses are available at our office. They're also available at the WHOP radio station, and they will be They'll be available at the other sponsorship locations throughout the city. Okay. Next Summer Salute Festival, there are sponsorship opportunities that are available, so if anyone is interested, anyone is hearing this, there are numerous areas that are available, so we ask that you contact our office and we can get you set up with that. As I said earlier, the festival food and beverage vendors are completely full, and our merchandise vendors are very limited, less than 15 at this point. Friday night headliners, our Friday night entertainment and Saturday night headliners, we are finalizing contracts for all of that. Hopefully within a week, we will have some announcements to be making on that event. And then obviously we work with our public works, our fire department, our EMS, Christian County, police department to put on this event. We could not do that without them, to have a safe weekend for everybody. So, and then we go to just some follow-up on the Sportsplex. Well, 2024 attendance, as I said, was 140 to 150,000. They've had volleyball at the Plex this year, had 103 participants. And our first adult volleyball league had 10 participants, 10 teams participating, I apologize. Our junior basketball season had 260 participants and 36 cheerleaders. Our concession, that's something that everybody always watches. Our concession projections are roughly around 150,000. Year to date, we're right around 81,000. And the largest revenue events are still ahead of us for the year. So we're looking in real good shape there. And then this weekend at the Sportsplex, we are hosting our first ever wrestling tournament with a possible of 500 wrestlers will be in town this weekend. So if you're interested in that, the Sportsplex will be having that. And then finally, just an update on Bluegrass Splash, where we are with Bluegrass Splash, just some ideas. I mean, some areas that we want to look. It opens on May 24th. 2025, it opens Monday through Fridays from 11 to 7, Saturdays and holidays 10 to 7, and Sundays from 12 to 7. It closes on September 1st, and we are weekends only after August the 10th. If you're interested in scheduling any birthday parties and after-hour events, that all begins on April 1st, which is coming up shortly here. And you can schedule online at bluegrasssplash.com. If you're interested in that, that will be available on the link on the website on April the 1st. Then our season passes are now available for sale. You can sell those. We can buy those at our office. If you contact our office until the water park opens, then all that will be handled at the water park. But any of this information is on their website at bluegrasssplash.com. You can follow all of that and keep up with that. So that's kind of an overview of where we're going for 2025. Obviously, like I said, everything is on our websites. You can reach out to those and get all the information you need. This is just an example of all of our staff that we have on board. We couldn't do it without these guys. It takes every one of them to do it, and we appreciate everything that they do. So that it completes mine. If there's any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer any of those.
We'll ask. I didn't know if maybe you wanted to take a moment at the bottom of that one screen to just talk about employment opportunities coming up, summertime employment, I guess.
Employment opportunities were handled through Live United, which is the organization, that management firm that runs the aquatic center. If you are a lifeguard or if you are a manager, want to be like an assistant manager or something like that, if you'll go to that link, that will take you directly to Live's site where you can fill out applications and go from there. So that's just a direct link to their employment options there.
Sure. Any other questions, comments? Just want to thank Parks and Rec especially for choosing a date that maybe, let's pray, it's going to be a lot cooler for Summer Salute.
Sure. We have moved that date. I didn't put that in there, but we have moved that date to September 12th and 13th.
I think that's a brilliant idea. Thank you.
Thank you
That's a
guys
big
very
deal.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, it was kind of hot out there last year, so it was good.
Yeah.
All right.
Council members, if I'm not mistaken, Melissa, I think we have just one more payment left on the water park next year. Yes. And it's done.
Thank goodness.
Can you say that again?
One more payment left on the bond, the debt service for the water park.
Thank God. Right? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hudson, appreciate it so much.
Thank you, guys.
Moves on down to item 5B, and that's just happens to be my opportunity today. I think I'll just take a couple of moments, not very long, to just give some updates on boards. You know, our board appointments change sometimes from year to year, and so this year, I think probably one of the most significant things that I've been a part of, maybe the mayor could share a little bit more, but is the Economic Development Committee that he put together, which is going to help, I think, in writing a more objective set of criteria for both developers and for the city, especially as we move forward. So some recommendations that will come from that, and just so thankful for the vision of the mayor to help make that process a little smoother to go. You have any comment you'd like to make about that?
Well, with that is to make it smoother and make it easier for us to move forward, and also to keep council more informed on how we're spending things and making it a whole lot easier for the community too on that. So,
Right.
once y'all get that moving forward, and we'll have that better
Yeah.
understanding.
So, yeah, really thankful for that. So if that's okay, we'll move on to item 6 then, and we have no unfinished business. So let's move on to item 7, which is new business. And tonight from Toyota Boshoku, a bond request. We have Naguib Mahmood, who's going to come as a representative from Toyota. And so, Mr. Mahmood, come, will you? Welcome.
Already here. Yes. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor. It's been brought to my attention, it's been over a year since anyone from the company has spoken to the council. But rest assured, everything is actually going really well, and a couple of the slides will give you a little more detail of what we're doing and how everything's coming along. So that picture right there, ladies and gentlemen, is actually of the plant. It's located on Fort Campbell Boulevard, and we have two very awesome neighbors. One is the Walmart Distribution Center and tobacco company, which we can tell when they've got those furnaces going, because that smell is potent. But no, we've got that is our facility right now, currently sitting on 46 acres. That facility that you're looking at right now is 3,200,000 square feet. I wish I had a couple of more pictures, but we actually moved into the facility on October 1st, a couple of months ahead of schedule, and we're currently at about 57 employees, and with us production preparations for November of this year. Next slide, please. There's a couple of background information. The company was actually established in September of 2023. That picture that you see there, that is the board of directors and the president of Toyota Boshoku America. The groundbreaking ceremony took place, and I was fortunate enough to be the first employee of the company coming out of 26 years in the military. I got 1 month break, and then I got hired by these individuals, so very fortunate for that. I'm located in Hopkinsville, Christian County. Capital investment value, of course, this being a Toyota Boshoku America 100% investment ratio. Right now, our operation's starting in November 2025. We currently have about 15 of 21 mechanical pieces of equipment, all from parts of Japan and throughout the United States. So right now, we're going through fine-tuning training and trying to get that equipment to do what it's designed to do. Right now, our estimated employee start, we're looking at about 133 employees around November, December timeframe of this year. Now, we do expect that to increase as volume and demand for the products increase as well. So there is definitely room to grow. And then I already talked about the land area and our actual building area. Next slide, please. Just a small breakdown of what we're doing. The parts that we're actually producing at the plant, you can probably carry in one sitting. Unique to us is injection molding machine, which actually creates 4 different types of slides. These are the slides that actually maneuver and power your automatic seats. They allow your seat to recline, to slide, to lift, and to tilt. So if you're driving a Toyota or any vehicle in particular, there's a good part that you already have those in your vehicle. Our press machine, it's a 12,000-ton press machine. They build the brackets, which is what the seats actually slide on when you slide forward and backward. And then our motor with gear assembly, those are all the very expensive machines that we brought in that are actually going to put all these parts together for us. So we have a combination of doing in-house building and actually outside vendor parts, and everything's getting produced by these very unique and complicated pieces of equipment. Next slide, please. This kind of just gives you an idea of where those parts are. 3 color codes, the seat track, those are located underneath your seat. The motor with gear, the 4 different types, those are actually where they're normally located on any one of the vehicle chairs. So next time you go out there and you slide your seat forward, or you want to recline your chair, and hopefully it's a comfy Toyota vehicle, that is actually where they're located. And then the recliner, we make on both manual and an actual power recliner. So our stuff gets made here. We send parts of it to Tennessee, and then everything meets in Canada, where those seats are actually manufactured, put together on the seat frame, and then those parts go to the Toyota Motor Company that's located in Canada. So that is where we are as far as that piece of the pie. Next slide, please. What's unique to our plant is what we're using a smart facility concept, a combination of very high-tech IT, DX, and AI technology accompanied with very unique equipment. That something that would take a lot of people to run, we can do that process with 1 or 2 individuals, moving from one point to another to a very complex piece of equipment, as we use robots and automatic mobile vehicles using very updated scanning capabilities that are delivering parts and processes and helping us do this all throughout the plant. Everything comes in from the receiving area, and then our facility is divided into 3 major processes: the seat track, motor with gear, and the recliner. And everything comes out the shipping, comes in one end and out the other. One of the things you notice on there, we definitely have area to expand within the building itself as demand increases. But we also have the ability, because we have that large acreage, to actually expand on the building. So I think that the project is going along very well. We are getting the opportunity to build our own culture, and I get to be a witness of that. So we're very fortunate of that, and wanted to say on behalf of the company, thank you for allowing us this opportunity. I know that you guys and gals were actually part of that decision-making process to even getting us over here. So thank you so much, and I hope that this brings a little bit of enlightenment to what we're doing. And if anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those at this time.
Anyone have any questions? I saw on your slide that you're the Senior Manager of Administration, so we'll give you the proper title there. Naguib Mahmood, thank you for coming. Thank you for presenting that.
Thank you so much.
I think we've all been out. It's just right across the street from our new fire department, Station 5.
Yes.
So next to Walmart, there's just a beautiful piece of property that's being developed, and it looks really nice.
Yeah. So if you guys are ever in the area, just come by and say hi.
You have coffee available, I guess?
We definitely do that.
Okay, good. All right, good. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much,
tonight.
guys.
Thank you. At this point, we're going to ask for Mr. Mark Franklin to come from Dinsmore and Shaw and make his presentation.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Mark Franklin with Dinsmore. Some of you may remember me. I serve as bond counsel for the city. I just wanted to say a little bit of quick background, just a reminder of why we're here for a bond issue for this. In 2023 and around September of that year, when the city and the state were trying to convince TBA to locate here, they agreed to a package of business incentives. One of those incentives is property tax abatement. And in Kentucky, the way you can give a reduction of property taxes to a business for a period of time to incentivize them to locate in your city is, fortunately for me, through a bond issue. Our state law says that in order to receive property tax abatement, a project has to be public property used for a public purpose, and a bond issue gives us a reason to do that. We can, through the ordinance that's presented in your packet, the city can declare the project that he just described a public project and can take title to it, and the public purposes that helps reduce unemployment and develop business within Hopkinsville. So the bond issue is a means we have to do that. The structure and the terms of the bonds were negotiated in 2023 with the city and TBA. It'll be a 20-year bond issue, so a 20-year abatement. TBA has agreed to make pilot payments to all the local taxing jurisdictions equal to 20% of the property taxes that would have otherwise been paid without the bond issue, so it's not a complete abatement locally, which is nice. The bonds are expected to be closed this year. We want to get the project basically off the tax rolls before the January 1st, 2026 property tax assessment date. And then the 20-year abatement period will start. The pilot payments would be due when regular taxes are due. So for next year, that would be in the November, December 2026 timeframe. I'm happy to answer any questions. I have to say, they've been extremely easy to work with. This is probably the smoothest property tax deal I've ever really done with anyone. Anytime I ask for anything, I usually have it within a day. So they've been a real pleasure to work with. With all IRBs, the city's not liable for any debt payments related to the bonds or anything like that. In fact, these deals are really even simpler than that because they're not here to borrow money to build the facility. Since this is just for the property tax abatement, all the bonds are held within the company, so to make a payment, they just take money out of one pocket, put it in the other. So it's not like there's really any, outside creditor risk anyway. So from a risk perspective, these are really low and easy to do. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, but just want to provide that overview.
Okay. If anyone has any questions, we can ask. I was going to say that this really, as most of you know, this is the fulfillment of a commitment that was made by this council in September or October of 2023. So this is, we're fulfilling our responsibilities. We've seen you by video. We've just never, I've personally never seen you live before, but thank you for being here tonight to present this. And, we're not passing anything tonight. We're just forwarding this to the council, but to be able to discuss it, we need a motion a second.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Velez, Ms. Craig, second. Okay. Any discussion? Any questions? We're all clear? No discussion. If you're in favor of sending this on to council, indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign? Okay. All right, Mr. Franklin, thank you for being here tonight. So good. All right, at this time, we'll ask our own Melissa Clayton to come. We should all give a round of applause. Thank you so much for all that you do. I feel the same way about the treasurer at my church. Thank God somebody counts the pennies. Right?
Brian Silver is the general manager at Hopkinsville Solid Waste. He's here tonight, too, to answer questions for you guys. I'm just going to focus on the very last page. Every year, Hopkinsville Solid Waste participates in a lease program where they get all of their trucks from. And so what you're passing tonight is approval for the mayor to sign those lease packages as they come due. We usually do one each quarter, March, June, September, and December, and sometimes they don't quite fall in that date depending on truck availability and all of that. You guys know the market on vehicles and stuff like that has been kind of slow, so they don't always arrive when they're supposed to. But this package tonight is for 19 chassis bodies and 19 chassis, and a couple of them have the bodies with them, and then 13 bodies. So I'm happy to try to answer any questions. Brian's here to answer questions too. Do you want to say anything else? Okay.
Okay. So, if we're going to pass this on to the council, we need a motion a second. We can discuss. Now, if you'd like to ask questions, you can, but properly, we should have a motion a second.
Motion. Second.
By Mr. Crabtree, second by Ms. Craig. Okay? Yes.
So I've got a question for both of you. So we've got leased vehicles today,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
We're going to sell those, correct?
Yes.
How are we going to sell those?
Okay, the process right now is the trucks go to J.M. Wood Auction, which is in Alabama. You get up here and answer these questions. He knows better than me
Yeah,
'cause he takes them.
we take them to J.M. Wood down in Montgomery, Alabama, and they've been terrific partners for us in selling our trucks. We've managed to get pretty good prices on our trucks. Sometimes we will use govdeals.com. We've had some success there too, but those are our only two authorized outlets for our vehicles.
But the process has been working good the last time it's been done?
Yes, we've partnered with J.M. Wood, and we've built a pretty good relationship with them, and we've profited pretty well from it.
Thank you.
It's been said the difference between men and boys is the price of their toys, right? So after I picked this packet back up off the ground, I dropped it when I saw it's $5 million every 18 months. Almost. So I would just say, this is a huge amount, so.
Trash is expensive.
It's expensive. Where are we at? I don't know. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody have any? I'm sure by purchasing new vehicles that we're in a lease purchase. Is that right? It's a lease purchase. Or is it just a lease?
It's just a lease.
It's just a lease. So
Yeah.
by leasing vehicles, like, when we lease a car, that's more expensive than buying a car, obviously, that kind of thing. So it may be a little more expensive, but we're saving the money, I guess, on the maintenance, that it doesn't have to go down to Public Works and Mike have to buy, have extra staff to service the vehicles and things like that. So it's just pretty expensive. If there's no other discussion or questions, nothing else? All right, you want to send this on to council, indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign? Okay. Takes us to item 8, which is other. Anyone else have any other business to discuss?
Don, I'd like to mention
Yes,
something.
please.
And this is really for the new members of the council. You may be a little confused after my motion the other night, and we moved the loan discussion back, and you may be a little bit confused. Sometimes we're spoon-fed and we get a stack of papers. Well, if you've noticed, you probably haven't gotten any paperwork. And then you probably also noticed that Monday we will have 2 meetings. The first one will be the Council of the Whole, just like this meeting, where we will discuss and ask questions. If that passes, then it goes on to the next meeting, which is the regular or special call city council meeting. The difference in those 2 meetings, they're back to back. On this particular item, once it goes through that, it's done. It doesn't get a second reading in the city council. And once it's there, we cannot make changes to it, so we can't make a motion because it's a special call meeting. Now, we get spoon-fed. What they don't teach us at council school is that sometimes you have to go dig. And they can't send you a packet big enough to talk about industrial development, industrial foundation, economic development. So what I would encourage each of you to reach out to Mr. Willett, reach out to the mayor. If you've got financial questions, reach out to Melissa. Troy's always a good resource, and even some of us council members that have been around a while. As my friend over here says, "Hi, old man," as I'm coming in. So I don't know what he meant by that. But there's a long history, and it would do you some good to understand that history. And then once you get into those meetings, I don't understand it all, and will be doing that the next couple of days myself. You may get some calls from the community, so you're going to have to do a little homework that maybe we haven't seen, since you've been on council such a short period of time. I would encourage you to fully understand little nuances in what you're voting on, and you do that by asking questions. If you do not understand, we'll be here all night. You don't need to walk outside after voting and say, I really didn't know what I voted on. You need to understand it. So that's just my 2 cents to you all. I was in your shoes not too long ago. I'm happy to help. I'm sure Amy, Jason's been here a while. Don's been here a while. Reach out. We're happy to tell you. My view's going to be a little different than Amy's, than Don's, than the mayor's. We all see different things because we come from different backgrounds, but now's the time to get your shovels out and do some digging on that particular item, if you want to know more about it. Sir?
It's a good point, Chuck, and I just appreciate the fact that you're asking really good questions most of the time. So, thank you.
Thank you, Crabtree.
Nothing else, we just want to thank all of the department heads for being here tonight, all of that you do, CDS. I personally have had an opportunity just the last couple of weeks, really, to get some help from CDS and code enforcement, and there's some things in my ward, public safety, and everyone. Thank you for everything you're doing. Mayor, city manager, thank you, Mr. Body, for being here. And so, if there's nothing else, we move on to item number 9. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign. Meeting's adjourned.